Keep California cowgirls from vanishing.
Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show. Training our horses and miniature cows in ranch versatility. Penning Rusty and Susie, our bull and heifer. Roping Rusty with Morgan horse, Semi. Training Eve to work over her haunches with a motor cow simulator. Training Eve on a cow roping simulator.
Sadie practices over the haunches with an ATV mechanical cow simulator.
Pulling slack. And Susie's coming my way because she feels the pressure behind her horns.
This is a short introduction to show you the tack we will be using in training mini zebu Heifer Seela to pull.
It's a 10-minute introduction to preparing little, young, miniature zebu Heifer Seela for pulling. Now, Susie, her mom, and Rusty, her pop, have been trained to pull. They've pulled carts, farm implements, logs, etc. And to do so, we assembled here at Minmore Farms the tack needed, one small step at a time. And I'm going to show you what tack we have assembled and used and explain to you what's difficult or easy about each piece. This is a nylon harness. I'm going to move the camera so that we make sure that I stay in the camera with all these pieces. And Katie, who's got Seela on a dog leash with a small adjusted halter. It's a colt halter that I made even smaller for Seela's nose. Okay, we're going to make sure we stay in the video for this, because if you're trying to assemble this tack and then use it for pulling training with your miniature zebus, you should do things one small step at a time, because you're not going to find, generally speaking, the tack you need right away. You're going to have to adjust it, work with it. Now this is just a nylon surcingle with a lot of rings. Now I got this at a tack shop, but it came with this cinch, which is fine for a horse, not fine for a small mini zebu. So I have used, depending upon when we were doing the training, how big the zebu was, I have used adjusted cinches. This is a string cinch. To make it shorter, I made a couple of knots on it symmetrically. They weren't, this is cotton, so it's soft, and it worked just fine. But if your zebu is very, very small, a short English type cinch like this one might be appropriate. And this is probably a pony cinch. I can't remember when I bought it, in what department I found it, but I made it do for the size of my zebus at the time. So 3 different cinches, a nylon surcingle, depending upon the size of the cinch. Not difficult usually to put on. Maybe one lesson and with a repeat lesson. They're okay on cinching up there, close to their neck, close to their humps. What is difficult to put on, but very important ultimately for pulling, is this britchin. Let me show you how the britchin works. The reason I say it's difficult, it seems that the zebus are particularly sensitive on their backs, probably for obvious reasons. If they're going to be attacked, something will attack them on their backs, and very likely close to their hips. So when you put this britchin on them, they are not comfortable with it. I'm not even going to be able to show you, because I'm sure Seela won't allow me to put it on, but I'm going to explain it and then take it close to her. This goes over the hip. This goes under the tail. It's a crooper. They don't like that either. This piece connects to the surcingle, so it stays centered. Now let me take you, and Katie's going to turn the camera. Let me take you to Seela. Just give you an idea what I mean. It's all right, Seela. See, she's concerned, and I don't blame her, but that's why I'm doing this little introduction for her and for you. The surcingle will go right here. And then the britchen, which will take more than 1 or 2 repetitions, will be placed on the hip with the crooper under the tail, and then the britchen connected to a ring on the top of the surcingle. Let me try to get a picture of this for you. Over the hip. These straps are used to actually connect to the objects that we're pulling. So, and notice that I have some dog collars, nylon dog collars, which I've added to fit the size. Nylon dog collars are real handy for tacking up something unusual for pulling. Okay, so we've got the surcingle, the britchen, the adjusted halter, and here's probably the most dramatic piece of tack. And I just dropped it because it was just on a hook here, and it's quite heavy. And it's so heavy that right now I don't think I'm going to use it on Seela, because she's still not quite chunky enough, I feel, to bear the weight of this yoke. But this is a very well-made yoke that I had ordered from the East Coast to fit both Susie and Rusty when they became adults. And it works in front of the hump on the neck. And what you do is the following. You remove the hardware, which keeps the yoke together, and a couple of washers. You learn the terminology as you need to. You pull the bow out. You see the bow fits into holes. Then you put this top of the yoke on their neck, and assuming that they're not spooky, and that might take a while, you put the bow under the neck and fit the bow into the holes. And then you put the washers, their leather washers came with it, the cotter pin, I think this is called a cotter pin, back on, making sure that the sharp part of the cotter pin points behind so it doesn't hit their neck or their ears. And then we connect the yoke to rings on the surcingle with these chains that we have installed on the yoke. And that's to keep the yoke straight and upright, otherwise it tends to tilt on the neck. These hooks came with the yoke. They're very handy for attaching the pulling straps, whatever you're using, whether they be chains, nylon straps, leather straps, that is connected to the object that you're pulling. They attach to these hooks that came with the yoke. Then we choose what we're going to pull. And I have made some various size ABS logs, so it's not heavy, but some are short, some are long. We pull those first. Then we take a small wooden log that we've picked up off the ground here, and we pull it, each of which are securely connected to the pulling straps and to my rig, wherever I connect it, with usually through bolts, so that I have an eye to connect to with a chain. So we will be showing you all of this as we prepare little Heifer Seela for pilling. And then eventually, as we did with Susie, we will probably choose to have her pull a cart, but she has to be bigger for that. I have a small cart that I used for Susie, But I feel that Seela is just not big enough for something, even though it's small, for something that heavy and something that big. But it was a lot of fun to train Susie to cart, and it was very challenging, and I had not seen any other book or video or anything of the sort showing how we do that. So I produced several shows about it, and you can find those shows on www.urbancowgirlchannel.com and click on categories so that you can look at everything that's listed and available for your view about zebus, and you'll see cart. And click on that and you'll find many shows where we, one small step at a time, trained Mommy Susie to pull a cart with a seated driver. And I was the seated driver, asking Susie to G and ha and back and step up with driving reins only. At first, of course, we did it with somebody at the head holding the halter. Now, as Seela gets bigger, the halter will get bigger. And this is a very nice nylon cavesson that I bought, again horse size, that has a lot of places to attach, but once again, because their noses are so small and so short, I had to put a bolt with a nut through the nose piece so that the halter nose piece doesn't fall off their nose. But with extra holes in the nylon straps, we're able to make all of this tack work for my little miniature zebus, including Mr. Rusty, who's the papa. And he has actually pulled the harrow in my arena, so has Susie, but when the work starts getting heavy, I use Rusty, because he's a bull and he's strong and powerful. And that's all for today. Sonia Sokolow, the Urban Cowgirl.
This is the first time we tried to fit on Seela a surcingle and cinch.
Rainy day here in Santa Cruz today. We're gonna do just one small step thing with Seela. We're gonna try to fit under shelter here, because zebus don't like cold and wind and rain, so we're letting them into their shelter early today. But we're gonna try to fit the surcingle on Seela. We're gonna show you how she behaves. This will be the first time, and we're gonna show you which cinch seems to work the best. Now, Ashley's helping me today. She's going to monitor the camera, try to keep me in camera's view, and hold the leash for Seela. And I'm going to try to stay friendly with Seela, according to Borelli's language with horse training, natural horsemanship training, play the friendly game. I don't want this to be a scary thing for her. It's all right, Seela. It's all right, my darling. These are the two cinches I'm going to try today, and I'm just going to put them here on a feeder bin. Okay, it's all right. It's all right. I really don't know what to expect, because this is the first time she's had something like this on her back. I'm putting it behind her hump. They're less responsive or reactive when we're up closer to the front. She is kind of quivering on her back. Yes, and when I touch her here, gosh, Ashley, could you very quietly come closer with the camera? This is really educational. It would be important to show you, or at least I'm describing to you, she's grabbing like this with her back. Probably because it's a natural instinct, you see. And I don't want her to feel like she's going to be attacked. She probably thinks she's in danger here. Rusty and Susie are just on the other side of the shelter. And you just heard one of them mooing, probably wondering where is Seela. And I'm going to use the smallest one first. This is just a string cinch that is designed similar to an English cinch with two buckles on each end. It's all right. And I'm guessing that the smaller one will fit her now. I'm trying to walk around her very slowly, very quietly. It's all right. See, I see your concern. It's all right, Seela. Putting the string cinch on up on the holes, the buckles, hoping that she won't scurry away because she's feeling all of this pressure, light as I'm trying to be. We've done a lot of handling of Seela, a lot, but this is the first time we've actually tacked her up anything but a halter. Okay, now the string cinch is on one side. It's all right, Seela. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Very, very windy, very, very rainy. Aha, she's stepping on the cinch. Here we go. Pull it out from under her feet. So far we're getting somewhere here. Not easy. Now I'm going to reach under without scaring her, I hope. Grab the cinch. Bring it back to the other side. My very small step objective today is just to cinch it up. Not real tight, but not real loose. Just to see if it's going to fit. When we're ready to cinch it up all the way. And look at that. She's not quite ready. She's still too little. I can't cinch it up tight enough. And that's my smallest cinch. I could maybe make a knot in it, but she's getting upset now. For whatever reason. It's all right, Seela. It's all right. A lot of wind, a lot of rain. It's all right. I'm keeping it here until she behaves. It's all right. It's all right, Seela. Take the pressure off when you get the right answer. Good. That's the reward. Can you pull it closer? A little closer. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Okay. Now she stood still, so I immediately removed the pressure. But we're going to wait until she's calm before we take her to join her mom and her pop. It's all right, Seela. I'm sure that call, that moo call from probably Susie, her mom, is making her nervous as well. Don't know if the camera can hear this wind, but this is probably the worst storm we've had yet this winter in Santa Cruz. But we got just a little bit done. Showed you how we did it. And that's all for today.
Surcingle again, and then lead line saddle on Seela.
Raining, it's still cold. We're letting Susie be here in the pen with Seela so that they don't get upset. I have tried to create creatively a shorter cinch using some nylon strapping I have. We're going to put our lead line saddle on her back, which is very lightweight. We did it with Susie when she was younger. We did it with Rusty. It's just a fun thing to have. And you know, if there are kids around and the cows are tame, we can give little cow rides. So we want to get Seela accustomed to the feeling of this lead line saddle. I'm going to go now and try to put the surcingle back on with my newly designed nylon strap cinch, and then the lead line saddle. And that's all we want to do today on this cold, rainy day in Santa Cruz. So let's see what we can do to give Seela some practice in getting over any concern she might have on being cinched up, so to speak. That's all I want to do, is have her feel this on her back and be able to tighten the cinch a little bit without her getting upset. Similar to the way you first train a colt how to accept a saddle and a cinch. Here's what I'm going to do. Try to settle her down. It's all right. We got to get her so that she'll let us handle her and the tack we want to use without dancing around like this. I'm just going to see if I can use one of these rings to make it a little bit tighter. The cinch is not quite tight enough See, this kind of behavior, we have to just work with her very slowly, patiently, so that she doesn't get concerned about all of this feeling. I'm going to attach this strap a little higher on the surcingle, and I'm being very quiet. It's all right, Seela. It's all right. See, when I get down to her level, does she get scared or does she feel more secure? I'm not sure. So I just take it one moment at a time. Reaching down. A little bit too high, a little bit too tight. So I'm going down one ring. That's what's neat about these surcingles, is that they have a lot of rings. See if I can just get that cinchy feeling so that she's not upset by it. Yeah, the best I'm going to be able to do right now is just to hold it here as a tight cinch. I need a little bit more hardware, but I'm happy with the way she's behaving now. I think you can see that she's standing still. Okay, so I'm going to take this surcingle off. Say we've accomplished that goal. And now the next challenge. Yes, my little lead line saddle. See, it's very lightweight, but bigger. And I've got a little doll on it to represent maybe a kid riding, so that she sees it, and showing it to her, letting her investigate. Yeah, she's checking it out. Susie's done all of this before, so is Rusty. I know I just have to be patient. Repetitive. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right, miss. It's all right, Miss Seela. Touch her. Good. Good. Oh, that's an accomplishment. It's all right. Got fenders. It goes all the way down her back, so it's approaching her hips where she's a little bit more sensitive. Now let's see if I can cinch this up, get that cinchy feeling. It's all right, Seela. It's all right, Seela. I have to be able to walk all around her like I am now without her dancing around. Come down to her level without her getting worried. Try to get that cinchy feeling. Have her deal with it. So I'm taking some straps here, and not quite the right size, but good enough. There you go. There's that cinchy feeling. Even a little tighter. Attach it to a cord here. Very carefully walk away. I'm taking the leash now. This will be a first. Can I ask her to make some steps? Standing still with this on her back is one thing. Now, Katie, if we get into trouble, here's the place to release it. But moving and feeling that cinch and feeling this thing on her back is yet another thing. I like the way she's behaving now. I'm going to move back. I hope that she will be willing to step up. Step up. Step up. Step up. Good. Whoa. Good. Very nice. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. She's being really good. She moved with that cinch tight on her belly, the saddle on her back. Good, Seela. She seems to be patiently waiting for my next request, which I'm going to make this a very short and I hope pleasant session by asking her to back, 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 back. That's quite a request to ask her to back, back, back. No, I'm not going to get the back without being insistent. Oh, there you go. She acts it. There you go. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. She was okay on backing all by herself. Now she's stepping forward all by herself. Let me get some lateral motion. G. G. G is right. Pause left. Step up G. 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 Whoa. Good, Seela. Whoa. Very nice. See if I can get her to haw a little bit. Move our garbage can lid, which we use sometimes when Rusty's being hormonal. So it makes a noise. Okay, Seela's okay on it. This is all desensitization we need to do with our zebus when we train them. Step up. Ha. 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 Good. Good. Whoa. Good. I can't ask for anything better. Now eventually we're going to do this with reins, so to speak, with drive lines from behind her. She'll understand that G means right and ha means left, step up means go forward, back means step back. And all of that leads to being able to pull. And that's what we're starting Seela in her training.
Our cast of characters: Sadie and Eve, Sammy, Rusty and Susie, Heifer Seela. For more information, www.cowgirlchannel.com.